This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Oh, it's a big Monday in America. We are all gearing up for the feast. The feast. I can't wait. Doug, you all stretched out and ready to go?
I've been stretching my belly out for weeks.
I was going to say pre-gaming for like weeks, right?
Yes.
I mean, how many pies are you on so far?
No, I'm not. That's not me. What I do, I pregame with stovetop stuffing. That's how I've been.
Gross.
So good.
But it's quick.
Awful.
So
quick
good.
and easy, and man, it expands in your stomach, so it really is a great training regimen.
The nastiest thing.
Seriously?
Okay, we need a vote on this or something. We have to have a poll somewhere of stuffing or
Again,
pumpkin
Doug, different
pie.
type of poll, but yes.
You think stovetop is inedible?
It is I would rather starve to death. I would rather, like, if there's
What?
all the unlimited stovetop stuffing or imminent death, I would just go,
hold on.
this is
We're
your
gonna
time, Lord.
We're going to talk about this because
Maybe later.
it's breadcrumbs and seasoning. You add the butter and you add the water. That's all stuffing is anywhere.
Sounds
Wait a minute.
awfully bad.
Is this the hill we're going to die on? Is this
Yes. You don't
welcome,
get to say it's gross. It's breadcrumbs and seasoning.
welcome to Stuffing the Podcast.
Do you put croutons on your salad?
Mhm.
Ugh,
I mean,
gross.
if they come in a restaurant, I eat the croutons first and throw the salad away.
Yeah, duh. Like a civilized human being.
I mean,
Who needs all that lettuce in their life? I don't got time for that. But if there's dressing, I will use the dressing on the crouton. That's pretty delicious.
Oh,
Yes.
you guys are so gross. I think I'm going to win this one. Stuffing is nasty AF.
yeah, Gertrude, put that poll out there. We need answers.
Hey, something we don't need to take a poll on, and that is Monday's a badass time like every day to salute our troops. So raise your mugs, everybody. On behalf of the men and women making podcast in Mom's Basement, the men and women at Navy Federal Credit Union who serve our troops, here's a shout out
Thank you.
to our troops on
Cheers.
this very special week. While we're partying, you are busy at work, and we thank you so much for it.
And you know what the government is sending them this week?
I know.
I think it's pronounced government.
Government. Pallets and pallets of stovetop stuffing. That's what they're
I
getting
mean,
this
if
week.
you could fill up on like fresh homemade turkey and pumpkin pie, and maybe green bean casserole, or stuffing. Oh,
So you're saying it's not even just stovetop that you're opposed to. It's all
Ugh.
stuffing?
all stuffing of any kind. Nasty.
All right, we gotta put an ad on the internet for a new OG because this is he can't recover from this. No one's gonna. He has no credibility anymore to our audience.
We'll see.
Time for this guy to walk the Thanksgiving plank.
Let's see what the poll says. Gertrude, launch it. We'll shut it down on Thanksgiving morning or Wednesday night when drugs all hammered up.
I'm going to say what everybody's thinking. Let's open the show, Doug. Let's go.
Live from Joe's mom's basement, it's the Stacking Benjamin Show. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and it's finally here. Black Friday week. The week when you watch all of that hard-earned money leave your wallet way too fast. And, as always, in an effort to help you plan your attack and hold on to your Benjamins, we welcome the woman from the community that curates great deals from around the retail landscape. From SlickDeals, we welcome Regina Conway. In our headlines, one brand is highlighting real estate investor horror stories. We'll highlight their highlight on today's show and tell you why this is important for your money. And of course, I'll share some absolutely mind-blowing trivia. And now, two guys who I had to pull away from the Thanksgiving table just to podcast. It's Joe and O-G.
OG's been telling himself, I've been training for this my entire life. This is my moment to shine, except when it comes to the stuffing. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a very special week of the Stacky Benjamin Show. I'm super happy you're here. This is not just Thanksgiving week. This is a week of tradition on this here podcast because every year we play some fantastic notes. Regina Conway coming down to the basement today, as Dougie so eloquently said. On Wednesday, we're going to slide over into Techland, find out what's
slide
hot
into
and what's
somebody's
not.
DMs.
We're going to slide into Samsung's DMs. Hey, Samsung,
What's
what you got going on?
What's up, baby?
You up?
You up? Nice. Not Doug's first rodeo. He knows what's up on the Wednesday.
I mean, I hear that's what people say.
He may or may not have tried that before, but not with Samsung. He's an LG guy. Come on.
I actually am an LG guy.
Yeah. Super, super fun. And Vizio.
Hold on. I'm looking at the disgust on OG's face. Are we going toe-to-toe on this one, too?
I mean, it just, you're just digging your own grave. We can't have two polls going at the same time, despite what your mom says. So we're just going to have one.
We've wrecked the podcast already.
That was one of your best mom jokes.
Regina's just wondering, what am I doing here? Again, why do I come back every year for this? Over at SlickDeals, they don't talk about deals. Well, they do talk about deals, but they don't curate deals. The users actually curate deals. And Regina's been nice enough to, like she does every year, round up the best ones. You don't want to waste money this year on Black Friday. You want to make sure that something's already on the list, not on the naughty list, on the nice list. It's on the list. You're ready to go. You know that it's something that you absolutely need, that you value. And then let's find a great deal. Even Warren Buffett, when he took Bill Gates out to have Dairy Queen, which is a company that he owns, Bill Gates joked, I don't know if you ever saw this, Bill Gates joke that Warren Buffett pulls out coupons from his pocket. Like, hey, why pay retail, even if you're Warren Buffett?
I remember hearing a story one time where he said every day his wife would put money in his little coin purse thing for breakfast because he'd always stop at McDonald's. And depending on how the market did the day before would depend on if he got an Egg McMuffin and a coffee or an Egg McMuffin, a hash brown and a coffee. And so he would like literally look at, open it up just to see how much was in there. And then he would know what his wife decided that he got to eat that morning for breakfast based on how the market did. He would adjust his spending accordingly. How much money do we have? We took a little hit yesterday. No hash brown for you.
I like the hash brown, but I don't value the hash brown enough to have it on down days. Only on the up days.
Yeah, only on the green days.
We got Regina Conway coming up. She is just a force of nature. She is a woman who looks at all of these fantastic deals. I don't know how Regina is not broke because she's looking at great deals all day, every day that users at SlickDeals have curated. She's always got her finger on the pulse. And today she's going to tell us exactly what stores online and offline are the great deals, where the weird ones are, where the great ones are, where the useful ones are. We're going to dive into all that. But before Regina comes on to mentor us on our shopping, we've got just a couple sponsors that we need here to make sure we're able to keep podcasting. And so let's hear from them. And then Regina Conway coming to Mom's Basement. Dell PCs with Intel Inside are built for the moments you plan and the ones you don't. They're for those all-night study sessions, the moment you're working from a cafe and realize every outlet's taken, the times you're deep in your flow and can't be interrupted by an auto update. That's why Dell builds tech that adapts to you. Built with long-lasting batteries so you're not scrambling for an outlet, and built-in intelligence that makes updates around your schedule, not in the middle of it. Find technology built for the way you work at Dell.com/Dell PCs. Built for you. In business, there is no room for guesswork. Every shipment matters. Every deadline counts. And when you're trying to keep operations running smoothly, the last thing you need is uncertainty. That's why reliability is at the core of USPS Ground Advantage. From the moment your package is first scanned in, it moves through a secure nationwide network, aiding in a timely and accurate delivery. You get near real-time tracking so you can keep up with your shipments. And with affordable upfront pricing, there are no hidden fees or surprise surcharges to throw off your cost sheets. It all adds up to predictable deliveries you can depend on, because knowing your logistics are handled lets you focus on everything else, your customers, your team, and the future you're building. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to start shipping with confidence. USPS Ground Advantage. We mean business. It feels like she was just here, but it's been a year. Regina Conway's back. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again. You know, the kickoff to this Black Friday isn't official until we get to talk.
100%. And just like every year, I take my wallet and I put it in the next room so that I have to actually think about these deals for 10 minutes, because your users are annoyingly creative, Regina. They are annoyingly creative. Like, they find the best stuff every year. For people that are new to this, you should probably pause and put your wallet in the next room, make your list, stick to your list, and then we're going to have some great stuff. But just generally, you guys do a study every year about kind of the mood and what's going on. Why don't we start there? What are we looking for this year?
We do. So we queried U.S. consumers right before Prime Big Deal Days this year, because now we've sort of got that October sales cycle that kicks off into Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And it just is the unofficial kickoff to the holiday shopping season. But we queried around Black Friday and Cyber Monday and how excited people still are. And the excitement's still there. I mean, the deals are still good. And they, interestingly enough, you know, I think they're going to be a bit stronger in November than they really were in October this year. But we found shopping during Black Friday isn't just about getting those holiday gifts, though that is something that people do shop for. 72% of consumers said that they're shopping for themselves. So I've got some items on the list. It's really a lot of different categories that people are shopping for, one of which I'm going to talk about today, which is clothing and accessories. That's the number one thing that people said that they would be shopping for this Black Friday as well.
I saw elsewhere. Do you do different age groups and what they think? Because I noticed in a survey elsewhere that Gen Z looks like they're going to be spending tons of money on the holiday season this year. And as a former financial planner, Gen Z stackers, just pump the brakes a second.
Put that money in your 401k or your investment accounts or whatever, back off a little bit. Yeah. We didn't do an age breakdown on this one. This was more Gen Pop across the board.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting breakdown. And, you know, that is one of the things. I mean, obviously, like, this is a tip before we even get started. You said put the wallet in the other room, but it's not a deal if you end up paying interest on it. And credit card rates are at an all-time high right now. I mean, or credit card debt, rather. I mean, it's gone up by 24 billion to a total of 1.17 trillion. It's 8% higher than it was last year. So just make sure that if you're shopping, you know, be responsible about it too.
It is interesting. You can't have any deal site anymore without seeing, hey, just put it on Klarna, and then you're possibly flushing money down the toilet.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, at a certain point, it's like you have to look at how long is it going to take me to pay this off if I'm making this purchase. And, you know, it may have said it was 50% off, but now I've paid more than that over time. And did I really need that product to begin with?
But this is such a great time, to your point. I mean, let's get off the Grinch train,
Yes.
Regina.
Okay. No, I am here to talk about the deals. I just want to make sure people are shopping responsibly.
And you've been warned, stackers. You've now been warned by the professional herself. But let's dive in. So you talked about clothing and accessories. Let's start there.
Sure. So as I said, it's, you know, the top thing that people said they're excited to shop around Black Friday this year. So as with anything, you know, there are items that may have deeper discounts as you get past the holidays. So things like winter coats and boots, but the inventory may not be there as much if you have a particular style or something that you're looking for. It's not a bad time to buy those things. It just may not be the very deepest discount that you could get on those winter clothes. But nonetheless, in general, with clothing and accessories, it's a great time. So if you're looking at, you know, I follow a lot of clothing brands, both for myself and for my girls. I'm generally seeing that it's everything from the 25% to 30% off site-wide discounts,
Wow.
where they're bumping up that friends and family discount by an extra 5%. So whatever they would typically offer, they're kind of bumping it up. And then up to 70% off if it's a sale item, and you can stack that 30% or 25% off on top of it. So if you have a clothing brand that you like and you are not subscribed to their newsletter or you don't follow them in some sort of capacity, it's a good time to kind of check that out, because most of them are already launching their codes and they're doing those site-wide offers. Similarly, we're seeing a lot of athletic gear and clothing and athleisure on sale. So Adidas is having their Black Friday sale. It's 30% off shoes, clothing, and accessories. And one of the deals that's been doing really well with our SlickDeals community, there's a particular style of men's and women's running shoes that you can get for $23 plus free shipping. So if you need something, if your kids are in sports, or if you just want to take up some of those New Year's resolutions, get yourself in shape this year, if that's on your list, this is a good time to buy some of that gear.
You mentioned something during all that, and this is what I think your community is so much better than other places are good at, Regina, which is stacking deals.
Mm-hmm.
Can we pause there for a second? Because a lot of us, we walk into the store. Well, how often do you walk into the store now? You go online, you see a deal, but your community is looking at deal upon deal upon deal.
Yes, there are those site-wide offers. And if you want to shop more freely, you can look for those. And it's a great opportunity to do that with a brand that you love. But if you're really looking for that deep, best of deal, our community can really find it. So, there's so many different ways to stack those deals. I'm cautioning against using your credit cards, but if you have a credit card with rewards, that can be an opportunity to apply that. Sometimes the credit cards themselves will have an extra offer on a brand where you might be shopping. So, if you would normally get 1 point, you're now getting 2 points or whatever it might be. And our community is really good at identifying things like that as well. Similarly, if it's a Target product and you can use your red card and get an extra 5% off. You can also buy gift cards, which is one of the categories I'm also going to speak to you about today. But just in general, you can purchase the gift cards and then use them as your currency. So there's lots of different ways to maximize those deals. And to your point, our community, sometimes there's a little bit of deal gymnastics to be done, and they can help you navigate that.
I don't know who's better at it, you guys or the travel community, because those travel rewards, it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
And by the way, before we move on there, the Target Red Card, for people that don't know about this is something that when I first went from being a financial planner to financial media, Regina, I started hearing people talk about the Target Red Card. And I'm like, I don't need another credit card. I don't care what the percent off is. This can be a debit card. Like, this truly is if you don't have a Target Red Card, you probably should go get one.
Right. Like, you don't even need to get yourself into the credit card situation of building it up. There is the debit card option and just a lot of different savings that you can stack, especially during this Black Friday time period. They have a lot of extra incentives in order for you to use that card.
Absolutely. Fantastic. You had the Adidas specific deal. Any other specific deals in clothing and accessories?
Another one, there's Converse. If you want to, the fashions come in cycles. I just was hearing that sweater vests are apparently making a comeback, which made me flash back to the 90s.
Wow. Hello, Michael J. Fox.
Yes,
right?
So I don't have the deal on the sweater vest specifically, but I was going to say the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star Canvas shoes, $32.50 plus free shipping. That's available at Converse. They're normally $65, so check that out.
And I'm a guy in his 50s, but I've heard the kids say the Converse shoes pretty stylish.
Right. It always makes me laugh when my girls come to me with something that I'm like, yeah, we did that.
But you don't tell them, right?
No,
like,
absolutely not. Oh God, no.
Yeah. That ruins the excitement immediately if mom did it. Let's move on. You and I talked before we hit record. You and I are both seeing on TikTok books, all of these book lists. Let's talk about book deals this year. I don't think you and I have ever talked about book deals, Regina.
I don't think that's been on our list. I mean, we've been doing this for, I don't even know how many years, and I don't think we've talked about books making it on the list. But for me, I'm so passionately excited about this because I have loved reading forever. And so it makes me really happy that sort of there's this resurgence in publishing and excitement around books, and that it's, something that people are really rallying around. But Book Talk features users creating and sharing videos about their favorite books and emotional reactions to stories. And you can follow different genres of content creators. So if you're into, fantasy versus murder mysteries versus historical fiction, there's different creators for all those different categories.
I'm seeing it even in business, technology, self-improvement. Yeah.
Right. You got to get on that.
Yeah.
And it's not just a passing trend. It's really reshaping the way that the books are being marketed and consumed. And interestingly enough, there was just a round of press coverage around the fact that Barnes & Noble is really making a resurgence, where they were at one point closing down stores nationwide, and now they're expected to have opened 60 stores by the end of the year. So really making a comeback there as well. Obviously, just this as a category overall is very exciting.
I love that. Anytime I can have another bookstore in my neighborhood to just grab a coffee and sit in, that's my favorite.
Yes.
Bookstore, the smell of new books might be one of my favorite smells, like that new car smell.
Mine too. It's magical. So, and that's the difference. I mean, of course I support, I love going to our public library as well, but there's just kind of that magic of opening up that new book.
Yeah.
Car smell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I can do the library smell as well, but specific book deals.
Yes. So I mentioned Barnes & Noble. They are running a buy one, get one 50% off of hundreds of titles. Target has been running and is now again running a buy two, get one free special. So they've been sort of launching this one through the October, November sales cycle, but it is available during this Black Friday week. So if you have multiple books that you're looking for, that's a good option to tap into. And then Amazon is deeply discounting titles, but they're sort of, at this point, it's not an across the board type of thing. So this is an area where what you want to do is build your cart and then monitor it throughout the Black Friday time period. And you can kind of see, they're playing with the dynamic pricing. Sometimes there's the limited time deals. Sometimes you might see something on one book that you really want, but by buying the 3 books at Target, you might have a better option there. So build out your cart with the books that you're interested in getting, and then you can kind of just check in periodically to see where you can get that best price.
Cheryl started a trend that I believe, and people in Scandinavian countries can verify this, but she heard it was a Scandinavian tradition where on Christmas Eve, she gives every family member a book. Everybody gets a book. It has become a thing that our whole family looks forward to. And Cheryl loves going and trying to figure out what book somebody would like. And the amount of reading people have done with these books that are titles they didn't even know that they wanted. And then they read it and they're like, oh my God, I love that.
Well, I think that's what's so fun about it, because it's like sometimes you get into a reading rut, or, you just are really committed to something that you love. But if someone introduces you to something and it just opens up a whole new world.
It's almost like a new song that you didn't know that you'd like in a different genre. You're
Right.
like, why do I like that song? That's nothing to do with me. And it's cool. Let's move on. We did a TikTok minute, Regina, recently about gift cards. And this comedian was talking about how gift cards kind of suck because I had a thing that was $50 anywhere, and now I turned it into $50 at one specific place where you want me to shop. But I bet you're not going to tell me about gift cards. You're going to tell me about maybe some deals on gift cards.
Exactly. So we were talking about the stacking your offers, and actually one that's a crossover between the travel category and the gift cards. If you are a Costco member, there's a Southwest Airlines $500 gift card available for $430. So you save that $70 right there instantly. And if that's, if you're planning a trip and you fly Southwest, that's a great offer in and of itself. And then Southwest Vacations is having a Black Friday sale where it's up to $500 off of their vacation packages. So if you're really looking to bundle and maximize and, kind of stack that all up, you buy the gift card, you apply it to a deal that's out of the market, and you really maximize your savings that way.
Is there a limit on the number of those that I can buy at one time?
I do believe it is one per member, but I check SlickDeals because we can verify it there.
No, but that's fabulous. Obviously, if I've got a $2,000 trip and I can do 4, oh my goodness, but still $70 off. That's a ton. What else in gift card world?
So one that is available starting on the 28th, this Apple gift card. It's a $100 Apple gift card. Sorry, I had to look at the details here.
Yeah.
When you buy that $100 Apple gift card, you get a $15 Target e-gift card. This is available at Target. They're bringing it back. It was a deal from last year's Black Friday on the SlickDeals community. It, got hundreds and hundreds of votes. It was really like one of the most popular Black Friday deals from last year. So this is being brought back this Black Friday. And this is where you can use that red card for an additional 5% off. So you get that discounted gift card already. You get that extra $15 to shop at Target, and you're really starting to have that money pile up for you.
Let me make sure I understand the deal, though. It's $100 off on an Apple product, or it's an Apple gift card?
No, you buy the Apple gift card. So you spend $100 and it's face value $100 Apple gift card. So that card is not the discount. The bonus is the $15 Target gift card that you get on top of it.
Gotcha. But where can I use the $100? Anywhere? Is it like in my Apple Wallet? Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah. So if you're going to buy Apple products or Apple Store, you can use the Apple gift card.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's funny. And by the way, stackers, tomorrow we're talking to Bridget Carey from CNET, like our 1-2 punch this week, Regina and then Bridget. And I know Bridget has a lot of stuff she's going to talk about. So if you're interested in Apple products, listen again on Wednesday. So Regina gives you the deal, and Bridget will tell you about what to buy. I know she's not that excited about some of the iPhone 16 stuff, but I know that she is excited about iPads and about the new iMacs. So
good. Well,
there you go.
There you go.
Let's move to, oh my goodness. I don't think, have we ever talked about this next? I'm looking at your list here. Subscriptions, memberships, and I don't think we've ever talked about subscriptions,
I tried
memberships.
to switch it up a little bit for you this year. Of course, there are deals across the board, toys, beauty, anything that you want. You can check out SlickDeals for all of those things that are trending. But I wanted to kind of bring some new ideas, fresh types of deals to what we were discussing. So the membership, subscriptions, and tickets, so kind of all across the board. The memberships, Walmart is offering a 1-year Walmart Plus membership for $49. This is for new or lapsed members, so you can't, if you're an existing member, it won't work there, but that's about 50% off there.
Can I just ask you about that membership? Because I've seen it. I don't have it. What is the Walmart? What's it called? Walmart Plus? What does that give me?
It's similar to a Prime membership. So some people, you pick which one you're going to shop at more.
Okay.
And so depending on if you are a Walmart shopper and you've shopped there more frequently, or that happens to be something that's more convenient for you. But it's about the free delivery instead of having to have the minimum $35 purchase. And
Got you. Okay.
kind of some extra benefits around that.
Okay, cool. But anyway, I'm sorry I cut you off. That deal it's a $49 membership.
Yes. So that's a 1-year Walmart Plus membership. That's 50% off of what they would normally have. That is for new or lapsed members. So you can't renew it if you already have it. Also a Walmart brand. So Sam's Club has a membership for $20, which is 60% off of their annual membership. So again, kind of one of those things where you have to evaluate, like, if you're a Prime member already, do you need that Walmart Plus? But if you do shop there, this is a good time to get that membership. Similarly, Costco versus Sam's Club, decide where you're going to shop the most, which one is going to be the best value for you. But if you were looking to get a membership, this is a great time to do it.
Wow. I mean, if you can't find $20 worth of deals at Sam's, I think something's wrong. But look at the Costco deal that you had earlier too. I mean, $70. I mean, there's a big chunk of all the membership fees and more.
And chances are that you will continue to find other options throughout the year as well. Or
like a good hot dog at Costco.
Exactly.
Yes. Yum. Okay. So Walmart, what else?
So then the subscriptions. So this is also a great time to kind of look at those subscription services. So streaming services, if you're due for a renewal or on a streaming service such as Hulu, this Black Friday season, there's a great time to keep an eye out for those deals. Hulu is offering a deal right now. Similarly, Peacock just had a 1-year Peacock streaming TV service subscription for $20, which is 75% off of the normal $80 subscription price. This is an area where I do caution, don't sign up for all of these subscriptions and then don't, make sure that you're evaluating that this great offer is going to continue to be a great offer for you and that you're not just signing up because it's a great deal. But if it's something that you're actively looking for, this is a great time to sign up for those streaming services.
Yeah, because what they're betting on is the next time around, you're going to leave it at full price.
Right, that you're going to forget, and it's an auto renewal typically. So if you don't cancel that off, you're going to continue to pay for it.
My cousin Randy does this really well. He calls me about once every 4 months and goes, "So what are you watching on Netflix?" And I'll tell him what I'm watching. And then 4 months later, it's like, "What are you watching on Disney Plus?" And I said, what do you do? Why do you keep asking me this stuff? And he's like, because I only have one set of eyes. And so he and his spouse said, we're just going to get one. We'll have it for 4 months. We'll binge everything on that channel. And then we'll do the next one. I've been talking about this, by the way, Regina, for probably 2 years, saying that I'm going to change because I have like 4 of these services. But have I changed? No, I've done nothing.
Well, see, this will be another little nudge for you to think about.
This is my Regina Conway therapy time. That's what it is. There
you go. Yeah. So great offers available, but make sure you're actually using them. Maybe have somebody check in on you just to make sure that you are still using them and watching them.
All right. What about tickets though?
Sure. So we're so used to physical products as gifts, consuming things, but a lot of people have most of what they need. And we were talking about the dangers of the gift cards as a gift, where you're just basically replicating that dollar amount into something that now somebody's forced to spend on. Tickets are a great experience gift. And during Black Friday, just like everything else, there are great discounts to be had. So Disney on Ice, you can get up to 35% off of tickets. I mean, again,
wow.
Some of these deals are probably influenced by the phase of life that my children are in and what we'll be doing. So excited about that deal. There's also local ballet Nutcracker performances. So I've seen one for the LA Ballet Nutcracker for 20% off. Locally, we're having that similarly with our local company that puts on the production every year. So this is more of a localized deal. Check out what's available in your area, but make sure that you are thinking about saving on those experiences as well.
Well, that's a big thing in our community is less stuff around the house that we're not going to use and more experiences and that time. And oh my goodness, just going out to watch the Nutcracker with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what a great part of the holiday season.
Right. I do it with my older daughter every single year. My younger one, not as great at sitting through it, but we'll get there.
We tried to do a couple of years ago with our nieces. It was a Cirque du Soleil knockoff show when we were in Detroit. And it was horrible. If you want to see Cirque du Soleil, go see Cirque du Soleil, because this was just a weird show. It was really weird.
Find the actual discount on the tickets for Cirque du Soleil, not the discounted version of.
I can tell you that because I was in Las Vegas recently. We had a meetup there and I was doing an interview, but the first night I was there, I went to see a Cirque du Soleil show. And what was interesting, Regina, was going through, I should have gone to SlickDeals to see if there was a deal. I did not, but I did notice that going to Ticketmaster directly, the tickets were almost a third more expensive than if I went to cirquedusoleil.com, which, by the way, sent me to Ticketmaster to buy the ticket.
Right. Well, yes. And then the Ticketmaster fees. I mean, similarly, this is very local if you want to go to this part, but if you can get to the box office, typically you can save some money there as well. But that requires you getting in the car and taking that action and everything.
That's right. That's right. I don't got time for that. Right. All right. Let's end with an area that I bet people are looking for. A lot of you spoke at the top of this segment about people shopping for themselves, but utility items, home improvements. These are some of my favorite things to buy this time of year because, man, if I need a food processor, I bet this is the time to buy it.
It sure is. And, I was going to say, you might make fun of me for this one because last year I think I brought you like a pantry goods item and you were like, I'm going to put that under the Christmas tree or whatever. But it's a very great time to save on those bigger ticket items. Tires, something that we all need and don't necessarily think about until all of a sudden you go for your inspection and they're like, you need to get new tires. So if you're getting close to that.
If you could have a bow on your tires under the tree, like how romantic.
You know what? Somebody might get really excited about that. So
nothing says romance like tires.
I think I'd be more excited if they weren't under the tree, if they were actually like installed on the car, everything was done for me and I didn't have to deal with it at all. But
good point.
But if you want to build that into the gifting part of the process, but if you just need it for yourself, Walmart is running some great offers on tires right now. So there's a number of different options depending on what you need for your region and your particular vehicle. But the one that's trending really well with the SlickDeals community, there's the Goodyear Reliant all-season tires, $59 each as opposed to $89. So $120 savings if you need to replace all 4 tires.
Wow. $59. Like, I swear to God, I just became my dad right there. $59.
Right. The things that we get excited about may be slightly different than what they used to be, but it's a great time to stock up on those.
They should make a Hallmark movie about that deal.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So romantic and so lovely. But it is important as we head into this, for those of us on the East Coast and those in the Midwest as well, as we head into this season where you got to make sure that your tires are safe. So check them out.
Well, let's keep going. What else we got?
Another one that you'll make fun of for likely won't end up under the tree, but a good thing to get at this time. So Walmart again has the Frigidaire upright freezer. It's normally $399. It's available during the Black Friday time period for $197 plus free shipping.
Okay, I'm not making fun of that because I need that. I need that right now. Yes.
There you go. And we have our freezer that we got about 2 years ago through one of these deals, but it's something that is just so, you can store your food, you have it there, and this is the time to buy it because that's significant savings that you're going to get.
2024 was the year that I decided to try to eat more locally, eat local foods and local meats, and just the difference between the farmer's market and the local produce, local meats, so good. Like just the food is so good and it's so clean. I mean, it's amazing, but we've talked about, we can only buy a small amount because my freezer's not that big.
Right, where you have to have a place to put it. And so these are the great options. We have one in our basement, obviously, and same kind of a thing where you try to just stock up on some of that.
$197 at Walmart. Okay. Well, that cost me money.
Well, yes. The upfront investment, but over time, it's going to last you quite a while.
Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, no. That will be fantastic because that's wonderful. And I love supporting the local community too, doing that. All right. Yes. Spend more of my money. Regina, what's next?
Dyson products across the board. So Black Friday, Cyber Week, great time to be tapping into everything from vacuums to air purifiers to the hair products. We just got our second rescue pup this year. So I am in the market for a cordless vacuum. I am going to be tapping into one of these deals. At Target, there's a Dyson cordless vacuum, $250. That's 50% off of the normal price. Another kind of tip around the SlickDeals community is where you can look into those comments and sort of query what people's experiences have been. So is one better for pet hair versus that? So kind of depending on what your needs are in your home, do you have a lot of carpet? Do you have harder floors? But across the board, great Dyson deals on those vacuums. Similarly, I don't own one of these, but my friends who have them love it. The Dyson Airwrap is available at Ulta, normally $600. So it's a very pricey product. But if you've been saving your money, it's available for 20% off at $479 right now.
Well, yeah, and to your point, people that have those don't like them. They love them.
Right. I mean, if you're committed to, you're going to use it and you are excited about getting one, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of CrossFit. They'll tell you if they've got one. Let's talk a little bit about the community, because this is the important part. This is what I didn't know when I first heard of SlickDeals. Is this isn't Regina and the team out there looking for deals. It is, you guys have curated a community of people. Well, no, you've opened up the doors for a community of people. They curate the deals. Let's talk about the value of this community.
Right. As you said, it's not us telling you that this is the deal that you need to go. We're having this community of millions of shoppers who are out there betting, voting up the very best deals that are available at any given time from all of the top retailers. So it's not something that, occasionally you'll see your mileage may vary deal that might be localized a little bit more, but in general, it's something that's available nationwide or online, Walmart, Amazon, Target, Best Buy, all the top places that you would shop. And so you as a user can find a great deal on something like pantry goods or paper towels or AirPods. And it can range from everything that you would be shopping for. People post the deal, others comment on it, vote on it, and those deals that are the best of the best deals make it to what we call our front page. So it's really about the kind of joy of discovering that great deal, that you know that you're finding the very best thing that's available at that time. And, sometimes deals don't always come back. Like these Black Friday deals are once a year kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But you may need a product at a specific time, so you can still find the best deal that's available at that time.
Well, that's what I like. The confidence of, I need tires. I just query tires. I just put tires in the search engine, and here's all the discussions going on right now around tires.
Right. And we always, of course, want everybody to come back and check regularly, but you can also set, if you are specifically shopping for something and you know that you are going to need those tires, you can set a deal alert. Then you'll get a notification in your email when something that meets your criteria that the community has posted and is chattering about matches your criteria will get sent to you as a notification. You can tap into the deal that way. But to your point, it's one of those things where I was kind of talking about it with the vacuums, but just a lot of different examples where it's like something may seem like a great brand or a great product, but we don't have any sort of vested interest in telling you that it's not like reviews that you might find on other sites where there might be something that, they were paid to do it or whatever else. This is genuinely people who are excited and passionate about just deals in general and want to offer their input on it.
You're not paid by Dyson or Walmart or...
No, I mean, we have affiliate relationships with them, but
Sure.
They cannot come to us and say, I want this deal to be on your homepage. It has to really organically reach that through the community.
Well, and that was actually my next question. That's how you guys make money then, is the affiliate deal. People click the link then that people have curated, and that's how you guys make money. Because is there a fee to join SlickDeals?
No fee. It's completely free to use. So that's one of the ways. And then also obviously advertising on the site. But what I will say about that too is the integrity. So we just marked our 25th anniversary earlier in November. The thing that has always stayed true is that some of the deals that you see, we don't make any money off of. They're just there because they're genuinely that good of a deal. And so it's really the deals that are surfacing are rising there because of the merits, not because of something that somebody paid us for.
That's fabulous. We'll link to SlickDeals, and we'll also know all the deals that Regina brought to the table here today on our show notes page at stackingbenjamins.com. Regina, this is so fun as always.
I love it.
This is so fun every year. And thank you for mentoring us on finding some great deals.
Thank you. Thank you for having me every year. I love doing this segment. It's so fun to get to share the best deals and shop responsibly, but make sure that if you need to make those purchases, this is a good time to do it.
Hey there, stackers. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and on today's date in history, way back in 1783, George Washington took back New York just in time for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In a stroke of brilliance, he also timed his recapture to coincide with LVMH buying jewelry store Tiffany. I'm sure he bought Martha something nice and probably had a coupon. What, revisionist history? Look, this stuff all happened on today's date. I'm just connecting the dots. Speaking of coupons, here's a good one. Coupons weren't a thing until the early 1900s. Nobody'd ever heard of them. Here's a question. In maybe the earliest version of Black Friday deals, which soft drink company first created a coupon? I'll be back right after I go see who this Tiffany person is. Is she like a friend of Joe's mom or something?
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Did you know Fast Growing Trees is America's largest and most trusted online nursery with thousands of trees and plants and over 2 million happy customers? Whether you're planting fruit trees, adding privacy, brightening things up with flowers, or bringing in houseplants, Fast Growing Trees has it all. Even better, they can help you find options that are right for your climate, your space, and lifestyle. Click Order Grow. Every plant arrives healthy with the Alive and Thrive guarantee straight to your door. So if you're ready to get planting, this is the moment. Right now, they have great deals on spring planting essentials, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to our show get 20% off their first purchase when using the code WWO at checkout. That's an additional 20% off. Better plants and better growing at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code WWO at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code WWO. Now's the perfect time to plant. Let's grow together. Use WWO to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. Go to growingfasttrees.com for details.
Hey there, stackers. I'm Black Friday shopper and your personal doorbuster, Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug. So it turns out that LVMH bought Tiffany, not a real person, by the way, way after Washington retook New York City. That's disappointing. Even more disappointing, I hate to let you down, but he couldn't have used a coupon to buy something nice for Martha because coupons hadn't been invented yet. I know, right? What did they do without big deals all those years? I have no idea. What I do know, however, is that the company that first created the coupon not only made sodas, or pop as they say in the Midwest. Wait, I gotta say it right. Pap. They also had the name of Coca-Cola. Did you get it right? If so, you deserve a Coke and a smile. Don't you know? And now here's Joe and OG.
OG, what do you think about vanilla Coke? Maybe we'll go. We're gonna go around 3 times now. No, cherry Coke.
I can honestly say that I've never tried vanilla Coke. I do like cherry Coke, only at the movie theaters.
Isn't that funny? It's so weird. Like I told you guys, Sprite, but only on a plane. Like why? I have no idea.
What mixes great with vodka? Obviously, that's when I have it.
Nobody knows. It's clear, just like the vodka.
Seagram's and 7. Duh.
I used to have a woman that worked across from me when I was at American Express who was Russian.
Good day, mate.
She would drink what looked like water, and we found out, based on her erratic behavior, that she was just getting loaded all day at work on vodka.
Yeah, I mean,
just getting loaded.
Wait, we're not supposed to do that?
I don't know. The weird workplace over there at American Express. I don't know what they got going on. OG?
Oh, I was nothing to see here.
Big thanks to Regina Conway. You know, when it comes to these deals, we talked about coupons. Doug, you brought up that, but
Isn't
really,
it
kind of
isn't that how they say that up there?
Oh,
Coupons.
we're going to do this now?
Yeah, I think it is coupon. But I think this is just like coupons.
You know what? Hold on. I can see in the reflection in OG's glasses and on one of the tickets behind him, he's looking up pronunciation of coupon right now. I guarantee you that's what he's doing.
Nope.
Nope.
He can neither confirm nor deny. Well, actually, he's denying, isn't he?
Yeah.
That he's doing any of that.
I will, though. How do you spell it? Queupon?
Right. Queueupon.
Coupons pronunciation. Yeah, coupon. It says right here.
Coupon. There it is. The voice of reason, the computer. I think it is, OG, very important to remember. The stuff that you find on sale, I think it's so easy to go down that rabbit hole. Just, it's on sale. I should get that.
It's on sale.
I should get that. I should get that.
You know what I did for the first time this year? I have started, and I don't think it's too late for this, but I have started creating a list of the things that I wanted to particularly get for the gifts that we're buying this year, as opposed to meandering aimlessly through the mall or through the Amazon, like just going, I don't know, like what, like, yeah, sure.
You're actually going to begin with the end in mind?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know that it'll end that way, but that's where it's starting anyway. And largely this was
He's got good intentions.
This was born out of, this, I know this happens to you guys too, but my wife's like, you know what? We have everything. Like, what the hell do we need for Christmas? Like, stop buying around here, like, what do we, what? And I said something the other day. I said, you know what I could really use? I would really like one of those griddle pans that fit over the stove, for pancakes and whatever. We have a griddle thing that you plug in. But I'm like, wouldn't it be? She's like, yes, that we can buy. Put that on the Christmas, like that, we're like going, this is something that's useful. We know the manufacturer that we like. And I started doing that with the kids over the, like as the summer went on into the fall. And we have a rule in our house that after November 1st, if there's anything that you want, you just can't buy it. No, because it's too close. Like, give me an easy one. Basically, it's like, I need a new sweatshirt for school. Oh, well, okay. You have to wait till January.
Maybe
like
in a couple months
for school. Cha-ching, But your point about just spending money to spend money, right? It's like, just because it's on sale doesn't make it a good deal. It's if you need it, or if you want it, there's nothing wrong with wanting things, but go into it with a list. I think will really, really, really curtail your, like, I don't know what to buy, so I'm going to buy everything issues.
I did this segment every year back when I was on TV. To your point, OG, start off with a list. Number 2,
Scoreboard.
Do give yourself an amount of serendipity money, figure out what's appropriate for your budget, so that if you see something and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's great. Like, give yourself a little room to roam, but by setting a budget on that number, then you're not, there's not the Amazon guy.
Of course, she'd love
your
a cashmere jacket
that happens to fit me. Right. Exactly.
I got Yumi this.
Let's transition to our headline.
Hello, darlings. And now it's time for your favorite part of the show, our Stacking Benjamin's headlines.
Our headline today actually comes from YouTube, and a company that during the month of October was talking about horror stories in investments. And this was one of the horror stories. I really want to dive into this because we haven't done this in a while. By the way, thanks to Stacker Susan, for sending this to me, because a lot of our stackers like to buy real estate. They maybe own an investment property, maybe 2, maybe like my son, they own 15 different rental properties. You start looking at that 401k, that IRA, and you go, oh, I heard that I can buy a rental property with my IRA. What could possibly go wrong? Well, this is what Susan sent me from YouTube.
This month, we're highlighting investor horror stories. With respect to a self-directed IRA, it's important to understand if your IRA buys a property, whether you do that through an LLC or the IRA directly, that you cannot do the physical sweat equity. That can be considered a prohibited transaction. That's one of the most common ghosts and goblins that's lurking in the shadows that could potentially create a situation that could be disastrous for your retirement savings account.
That's from Equity Trust Company, who actually does self-directed IRAs, just to give them some props, because, OG, you see this every year. Some person that doesn't know all the rules goes and buys a house on the beach that they and their family can stay in, and they use their IRA money to buy the thing, and then it needs to be fixed up as well. So they pack the bags and go to stay there, and then, hey, I'm just going to work on it. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, what they're talking about here with the concept of prohibited transactions are things that you can and can't do with respect to your qualified retirement plans. At the end of the day, the government is pretty particular about how you can use those funds and more particularly who can benefit from the funds when they're there. You're saying if it's in a qualified plan, which your IRA, is a qualified plan, you're saying I'm not using this money. I'm not benefiting from it right now. I will benefit from it in the future, and then you can tax me on it, right? And we have required distributions and so on and so forth, which set aside for a moment, the whole prohibited transaction thing. How the heck do you do RMDs out of a
house
rental property? Yeah. But I know there's ways, but it's just, adds layers of complexity. But when you benefit from the use of capital, the IRS is going to want to take their fair share. That's just the thesis of all of our investing and tax, code. It's if you are not going to use the money right now, we will let you defer it. Take a look at your stock investing, right? So you buy a stock for $10,000, it grows to $15,000, and you tell the IRS, no, I'm not using it. They go, okay, no problem. And it grows to 20,000. And they go, hey, and you go, no, I'm not using it. They go, okay. Grows to 50,000. You go, I'm actually want to use some. They go, okay, now you're using it. Now you're benefiting from it. Now you're going to pay taxes on it, right? If you have earned income and you say, I need to use this to pay my bills, and they go, great, you got to pay taxes on it. But if you say, I'm going to take 23,000 of this and I'm going to set it, I don't want to use that. They go, okay, no problem. Don't pay taxes on it. If you're not going to benefit from the asset, if you're not benefiting from the income, then that's the whole thesis of all this stuff. So if you take your money out of your IRA and you put it in an investment property, there's ways to do it. Equity Trust is one of the companies that will help you do that, like you mentioned. But if all of a sudden you benefit from it, if you're like, haha, I pulled one over, I got a nice little beach house, woohoo. It's like, well, hold on a second. You're benefiting from this. Oh, I'll pay market rates. Yeah, okay, sure you are. Let's see the receipts of you paying market rates for the 2 weeks in July on the beach in Florida to your, that's $15,000 a week that you would be renting that beach house for. Let's see your $30,000 check that goes into the IRA, which, by the way, you can't use. You know what I mean? And then as you're talking about, like what they talked about in the video, is doing the activities associated with fixing up the property, basically saying, I'm going to
improve
benefit
the property
from this. I'm doing stuff to it myself. It's like, no, you can't do that. You have to do it a different way. So
I think the best way to think about this is not your money. This is future use money. And once you qualify, which is what I like to think about when I think qualified plan, I qualify. Oh, I get to the point that I can take this money out and use it. Once the money's out and it's yours, then again, man, taking a house out of that plan, if you're ever going to want to use that house, taking the whole house out of the plan at one time, there's a accounting nightmare.
Right.
Just can't imagine how that works. And then, oh my goodness, if you can't pay cash for it, you've got a mortgage inside of your IRA and rental income has a down year and you can't pay the mortgage, you're screwed. There truly is very little. The bad thing to do here, and I'm stuttering because it's so frustrating, because I swear we see this, just a couple times a year, we see somebody step in this again. The thing to do that's the poor structure is leave cash there for these things. But then you're like, why am I investing? I'm investing to have my money invested so I actually get somewhere. But if I leave a bunch of cash just in case the house doesn't rent, just in case I need to fix it up, just in case, all these just in cases that come with having physical property in your IRA, you're ruining the reason why you wanted to do it in the first place. You probably told yourself, oh, this will beat the S&P 500. This will beat an index fund. Well, does it after all of this crazy? And then the time and the energy and the worry?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, the thing is that real estate and stocks are the same in terms of long-term growth rates. And the only reason that they're the same, plus or minus, a point or two.
Yeah, sure.
The only reason that they're the same is because you can leverage real estate. The return happens with real estate due to leverage. That's the only reason that it works in the context of investing. Otherwise, the return is whatever the market return is of your portfolio, of the area, right? And if you live in an area like I live in, yeah, houses appreciated 8 or 10% a year. That's great. But in some areas that doesn't happen. And of course, it's not always going to be the case here. But if my house goes up at 8 and the S&P is going up at 20, like The only way that I can cover that gap is to have leverage, where you say, well, I put $50,000 down on my $500,000 house, and my $500,000 house went up by 10%. So it's worth 550. Therefore, my 50 has grown by 50. I made 100% return. And it's like, well, yeah, but you had to have a $500,000, $450,000 loan to make that happen. So to your point, when you do it in your IRA, you probably shouldn't have debt associated with it. That takes the levering factor out of it. There's just better ways. The other thing that I think about here, Joe, is sometimes people say things like, annuities suck, or whole life insurance sucks, or whatever. And it's like, well, they don't really. It's a product, it's a tool. And in some circumstances, arguably pretty limited, but in some circumstances, those products, those tools make a lot of sense. So why wouldn't you just align the product, align the strategy to what makes the most sense for that thing? I don't think either of us are saying you shouldn't own a rental property on a beach house in Florida. We're just saying you probably don't want to do it in your IRA. Align the product and the strategy with the tool that makes the most sense. Don't put an annuity inside of your IRA. Most of the time, that's stupid, because you're paying for a benefit that you don't need, tax deferral. One of the benefits of an annuity is tax deferral, right? So you don't need to have tax deferral inside a tax deferral. You don't double tax defer it. You know what I mean? Don't use the thing that doesn't align with the right tool. If you want to have a beach house in Florida and rent it out and, do all the do it. That's awesome. If that's the path for you, your son Nick's a great example of this. We've had rental properties. You've had a rental property. Doug has 2 properties, but not a rental. You're shaking your head, Doug, saying, yeah, that's not for me. Joe, you've had a rental.
I told you it wasn't for you too, and you didn't listen to me.
He did pretty well, though.
I did great with it. It just wasn't, it's like.
You bitched and moaned the whole way, man.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. The outcome was fine. The process sucked, which is, really the antithesis of what we talk about a lot. But my point is that for us, it's not a good fit. You know what I mean? Like that's nothing that I've done it. I've tried it, whatever. Nick's having success with it. That's great. Good for him. And if you're going to try this, or you're going to try to explore this line of investing for your personal wealth, I don't know that you want to add the bunch of complexity on top of it.
Yeah. Agreed.
In some limited circumstances, this way makes sense. Just like in some limited circumstances, buying an annuity inside of your IRA, pains me to say, could make sense, right? I mean, there's some very limited circumstances where it could, but for 99.9% of the people, it just doesn't.
Nope.
Stay away from this sort of nonsense if you can.
Thanks again to Susan for bringing this to our attention. We always think there's a loophole, OG. And to some people, like, really, I could just buy the house inside my IRA? Yes, you can. And just because you can does not mean you should, like Mom says. Just because you can. Good stuff. Hey, time for us to transition to the back porch. Doug, I got some big news on the back porch, and that is our monthly update on the benefits guide is now live. If you own the Stacking Benjamins guide to your benefits, your human resource benefits at work, your workplace benefits, here's what we updated this month. Some great advice here on month number 1 of the updates. We have a checklist at the beginning of the guide. Those were numbered. They're now check boxes, so you can physically check the boxes. I know, brilliant, isn't it? And also at the back, checklist for each of the major areas. Again, those were highlighted. Those now have check boxes as well. So there's just some basic formatting that when we first took it out, we continue to tweak and make it better. But we promised you that in month 1, we'd add a bunch of resources to Mom's mega resource in the back of the guide, links directly to podcast episodes where we reference different benefits specifically in that area. So we've added references in disability. We've added, as an example, when the Money Guys were on, they talk about benefits in general. We added that. We talk about pet insurance. We've added that. So all of these different mentions in the Stacking Benjamins universe have now been added to the back of the guide for people that want to dive in and get even more clarity. If you want to nerd out on the stuff, we have made it even more robust. So if you don't have the guide to choosing your benefits, it's stackingbenjamins.com/benefits. And for people that have it, just go in and get the new updated version.
A couple other things in the back porch, Joe, that I think are incredibly important, and they both happen to be reviews, but I think it's important for our public to hear this. We have a review from Josh Rhett 58, who said, one of the best investment podcasts out there. Yeah, duh. I have been listening for a few years, full of fun and interesting trivia.
Oh, God.
As well as great advice to saving and investing for personal finance, yada, yada, yada. But fun and interesting trivia. And then we have a Asher Sue. Asher Sue sent us, I've been listening to Stacking Benjamins for almost 2 years. As a younger listener, I love their 101 approach for personal finance. They keep it simple, lighthearted, and fun. Here's the best part. Even though OG can be a curmudgeon,
I don't find that to be accurate.
Spell curmudgeon without an O and a G, I enjoy his practical, no-nonsense approach. Those were 2 great reviews.
Just because I don't want to fill up my Thanksgiving plate with weak old musty bread.
He doesn't hold a grudge either for the entire episode. Not at all. Doug, get us out of here before we get into stuffing argument again.
By the way, be sure to check out the 201 because there will be a definitive pronunciation guide on the word coupon as well.
You mean coupon.
Okay, go look it up.
I'm sure what he means is coupon. All right, Doug.
Here we go.
Let's do this, man. What's on the to-do? Speaking of check boxes, let's check the check boxes. What's on our to-do list now that we finished today's show?
Well, Joe, first, take some advice from Regina Conway and Warren Buffett. Why pay retail when companies are offering discounts all the time? Control your FOMO for weeks like this one, and you could score that thing you're hoping to own for much less money. Second, looking to own real estate in your IRA? Avoid a horror story and know the rules before jumping in. You could create your own nightmare because you don't understand the rules. But the big lesson? Just like George Washington said, we shall create a nation where on this day after Thanksgiving, you can score a great deal on your favorite electronics. So pay attention, stackers. Hear ye, hear ye. What, you don't think he said that? Well, where's your proof he didn't? Thanks to Regina Conway for joining us today. You'll find deals curated by people like you at SlickDeals.com. We'll also include links in our show notes at StackingBenjamins.com. This show is the property of SB Podcasts, LLC, copyright 2024, and is created by Joe Saul-Sehy. Joe gets help from a few of our neighborhood friends. You'll find out about our awesome team at StackingBenjamins.com, along with the show notes and how you can find us on YouTube and all the usual social media spots. Come say hello. Oh yeah, and before I go, not only should you not take advice from these nerds, don't take advice from people you don't know. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, speak with a real financial advisor. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and we'll see you next time back here at the Stacking Benjamin Show.
I know that not every stacker is a sports fan.
What?
But I do know that.
OG is like, well, then we don't want them.
He's not a stuffing fan, which is fine. But when it comes to sports fan, they're off the island. You're not off the island. They're off the island. But they have been kind of, maybe they've been a sibling and they felt kind of slighted. I also know that our stacker family, that you all know, the Kelsey brothers, and their kind of podcast nearly as famous as ours. Would you think? Kind of as famous as ours. But this is the NFL on CBS. you're going to hear the voice of, well, their brother and their mom.
Hi, my name is Sean Kelsey. I'm Jason and Travis's older brother. What's it like being the third Kelsey brother? Man, I'm not gonna lie, it's rough sometimes.
You know what? I've always said that Sean has his own special gifts. I just wish he would move out of the basement.
And you know, I have a podcast too.
Welcome to the Kelsey Cast, the world's #2 Kelsey hosted podcast.
It just sucks only being known as someone famous as relative.
My next guest is Arch Manning's dad.
I think we're so proud of all of our children for all of their accomplishments.
Hey, Mom, how come you never want to wear my jersey?
Honey, they don't make JV jerseys for the parents.
What about, like, my actual jersey? You know, we could, like, stitch it in with theirs in the middle or something.
Didn't we have to turn it back in to the school? Remember, because they said it was so clean and basically still like new, they needed to reuse it.
It was so clean. They had to reuse the jersey.
Basically like new.
It's always sad being the third wheel.
Sucks, doesn't it, Doug?
He's my favorite Kelsey.
The only part of that that you can't see is when Mom says he has his own special talents. He's hopping on one foot with his other hand in the air, like really twerking. It's kind of uncomfortable. But the rest of it, you got on the audio.
Those guys are leaning into their 15 minutes, are they not? Like going, we are going to ring the register as much as possible with this.
Haven't they blown right through 15 minutes? I was
going to say like Haktua woman, right?
Well, but I think that still qualifies as 15 minutes. It's only been like 3 months. Kelsey's have been a couple of years now.
Yeah, she's got a monster podcast too now, though.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. Call me when you're at 15 years, lady.
Yeah.
Right.
He calls into her show and goes, "This is stuffing." I think this show is like stovetop stuffing.
I think stuffing's a very appropriate topic for Hawk Duo show.
All right. Moving on. Our friend, Dr. Daniel Crosby, who's always funny, was talking about on Twitter that he used to be a no Christmas music until Black Friday guy. Like, nope, not doing it. 2 weeks ago, he posted, "I'm not there anymore." He goes, "As I get older and I just want to be in my happy place, I realized that the month of December is my happy place. So I am now all in. Like,
wow.
Like, I find it interesting on the holiday season stuff. I don't know, when you guys get your stuff out, when does Christmas start in your homes, as it were? But our Christmas lights are up. I mean, they've been up since November 5th. They're not on, but they're up. And I think a lot of times they're up because the weather is markedly better at the beginning of November than the end. And so it's just easier to get all that stuff together. But I look outside and I see my neighbors' homes, and there's the big wreaths, and like everybody's got the stuff all decorated. And the 1st of November, we don't have any Christmas decorations out, but I think about how it's literally 1/6 of the year, because it's definitely full on Christmas here by Thanksgiving, especially a late Thanksgiving this year, right? And the tree will be up, and all that stuff. There'll still be some Thanksgiving stuff out. But then it stays up through, the first couple of weeks of January, right?
Yeah.
Generally, it's like 2 months. That's 1/6 of the year is freaking Christmas.
Should be up longer.
How great is that?
Not if you live in a single wide, it's 12 months.
Christmas is 12 months long where you
Just
are?
leave those lights up all the time. Those icicle lights hanging from the edge of the trailer.
Okay.
Year round.
What's wrong with that?
I think in the Northern Hemisphere, especially where it gets really cold, leaving the lights up all winter long just makes a lot of sense. Don't even call them Christmas lights. Just call them "I'm fighting the blahs" lights.
Lights. They're just this is why I don't slip and fall, so I can see outside.
It's
It's dark.
It could be that
I
too.
will say, side benefit of living deep in the North Woods is you don't decorate.
Ever.
Nobody sees it except the UPS guy who shows
you
up.
want to see it. You don't want to see it
other
yourself.
people. It's about yourself.
I look at the pine trees out my window.
It's about the inside. You don't like to see the red and blues and the greens glistening off the freshly fallen snow when you
that does
awake
sound
in the
lovely,
morning.
Actually, that
You know,
sounds
as you look
delightful. Can you come
outside
over and hang them for me?
No, I mean, I'll send some people, but sure.
We set up the tree in early November this year because my son was here visiting, and it was it was more fun having one of the kids here. So why not?
Yeah.
I'm also on board with the Christmas music early. I don't know about you guys, but play me the songs.
Are you still playing my heavily curated, expertly curated Christmas CDs?
I love the Christmas
Never got any
CDs.
of
I
those.
have them actually sitting in this closet over here. The problem I have is that now everything's on Spotify. It's all MP3.
You can't play 'em.
I know. You know what you got to do? You got to make like a
Get a playlist going.
You got to take them and make this
That's
is
a great idea.
This is Doug's 1997 playlist. This is his 1998 playlist.
I like that idea. Should we make those available to stackers?
Make it for the modern times.
If
I
you
think
put
we
it
should.
on Spotify, it can be public. Yeah, you can make a public playlist on Spotify.
I don't do Spotify.
I mean, nobody listens to Apple Music, so you don't have
No.
to worry about that. But
If you give me the lists in order, if you've got like the master list of all
I
the
bet that
different
there's
years,
a way to have ChatGPT create a file that you can basically upload to Spotify to create a playlist.
and
Like
then
you
it
just
just
had the list.
does it all for you.
I could give you the list, Joe, but you just pointed to your closet and said you have them all sitting right there. So
I've got like 3 of them that I know that I've seen recently sitting over there, but you made those for how many years? You made those for a ton
it
of
was
years.
a solid 10 years I was
Yeah.
sending out. OG's like, WTF, where's mine?
I know. Yeah, I never got one, but that's cool.
It was always very fun seeing what Doug's new mix was going to be.
So I will die on this hill also, since we're on stuffing, and I'll just throw another dagger out there. The stupid Mariah Carey Christmas song. If I were president for a day, that would be my executive order, that song is banned from all play for all eternity.
For everybody? What if we like that song?
Everyone. Don't care.
What if we like that song?
We're going to legislate taste for you.
No, there is no liking of All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
No stuffing, no Mariah Carey. We're done.
What's interesting there is, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen for Nickelback, but that song went through this whole life cycle where universally it was hated, but it just kept getting played. And now it's like its
Now
own
it's
joke.
back.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
back because it's like cool to begrudgingly like the thing that we all hated a few years
Like
ago.
Wham! Last Christmas.
Yes.
Same thing.
Last Christmas?
My sister a few years ago made me a playlist of all kinds of different bands covering in the most hilarious ways possible, to your point, Doug, Last Christmas. And the speed metal version of Last Christmas, the country version of Last Christmas,
I think I'd like that.
the ska version of Last Christmas, all these people taking the song, and it's pretty amazing. Anyway, hopefully by the time this airs, we may be able to get a holiday mix out for people. That'll be fun. So you can go early with us.
That'd be fun. Yeah.